First question is rather simply, what does your business do?
So what do? We take veterans from the military. We provide them with training, a coach, a mentor, and then we allocate them to roles with our clients to complete their projects, which are all in construction and infrastructure within the defense and nuclear space.
So you mentioned your practices in hiring veterans. Can you just tell us a bit more about that?
We exclusively recruit from the military veteran pool. That's across the tri-services. The reason we do that is because as a veteran myself and the team, we're aware that the qualities that veterans bring are perfect and really aligned with what our clients require. So not just their leadership, their value, work ethic, but also their desire to get things done and do the right thing on a difficult day. So our clients have been really happy with the quality of the veterans that we're providing, and we're really happy with our team.
So all of your team are security cleared or above. Have you found that process difficult, or is it just sort of the routine for new hires now?
As I said, we specialize in recruiting military veterans who usually come with an element of security clearance already, and we operate in the defense and nuclear space, which requires different levels of security clearance. There are timelines that come with that. It takes a lot of scrutiny, a lot of patience. So things aren't straightforward, and I think that's something that is good for us, because if our guys do have high levels of clearance, then we can easily fill gaps where clients don't necessarily have that project manager with that level of clearance that they need at the time.
Rather an open-ended question now, how are you just generally finding the market right now?
So the market is a strange place, and it's always going to be, because we work in defense and nuclear. We rely on defense spending. A change in government, a change in policy, something that happens over the pond affects what happens here. So, we've got a buoyant market, but actually what we're seeing is there is a gap in qualified people, a gap in experience, a gap in good quality individuals. And as a result, we can refill that gap. So is the demand there? Absolutely, it's there. And, we've got some of the most confident and able people within our team to deliver projects for our clients. We're in a really strong position to be able to fill gaps that they need filling. So for us, the market is very open, which is great, but I can see left and right of arc that actually there's lots of gaps that need filling, and I think the industry as a whole needs more youth coming into it to fill trades and management roles.
What was your experience of IT previously? So before Suzaku collaborated with you guys?
So prior to starting with Suzaku, I was actually with a family-run business, which is actually a cousin of mine. So the service that I had was absolutely fantastic, not an issue at all. However, he was given a business proposition and sold the company as a result. The service I got on from the follow-on company wasn't as good as I had hoped. And ultimately, I had a recommendation from a mutual connection, which is why I moved over to Suzaku. And I've been with Suzaku for over a year now, and things have ran really, really smoothly.
How has Suzaku helped CSPM?
Before coming to Suzaku, we didn't have ISO accreditation, we didn't have Cyber Essentials. So by working with Suzaku, they've allowed us to fortify our systems. We've got sorts of backups, malware, anti-phishing, and as a result, we've now got Cyber Essentials Plus. We feel more confident as a company that we are holding our data much safer than what we were previously, and giving us that level of reassurance. Equally, if we do have an issue with any software or any hardware for that matter, we are a 10-minute communication away from the problem being resolved. And usually problems are resolved within the first hour or so of them being highlighted.
This is another quite open-ended question.
Yeah, far away.
Um, Obviously, technology is improving at such a fast rate nowadays. Are there any kind of aspects of this that you are excited about going forward?
Yes, IT is moving at a really fast rate, and obviously, particularly AI comes with that. Um, the issue I have with AI working in the secure space I work in, once anything is placed out into AI, that information is somebody else's to potentially use. So, yeah, we are excited for what comes, but there's also a level of security that also needs to come with that. And working with Suzaku and some of our projects that we have coming up over the next couple of months will really ensure that we are at the forefront of the IT revolution.
I've seen that you do a lot of fundraising, such as mountaineering for the Colonel's Fund, and you were telling me about the charity bike ride that you just came back from.
Mhm.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of giving back where we can, and myself and my daughter, we climbed Kilimanjaro for the Colonel's Fund back in February. She was 10 at the time, so
Right.
yeah, so she dragged me up the mountain, which was good of her. We also did that with a good friend of mine who's a double amputee, so he's missing both his legs. Obviously, you can imagine the challenge. And then I also did a charity bike ride very recently, last week, for Help for Heroes. There was just under 100 of us going from London through to Munster in Germany over 4 days. And obviously that was raising funds and awareness for the need for Help for Heroes in the future and the services that they provide, and obviously raising funds for us as well. It was a fantastic event. I feel like I'm giving back, but equally I feel that I'm part of something bigger than just me, something bigger than just the company and my family. So it's nice to have that sense of community as well. And I feel that's what I get back from.
So you're building a unique, award-winning culture at your business. Do you think that that comes from your experience in service?
So I am absolutely trying to build the best business that I can. And with that comes not just knowledge from me, but also I've got a lot of knowledge in my team, a lot of best practice that's happened in the military over the years. And I've input that into my strategic vision for the company. I have a quality management team who strive to drive the business as far forward as we can. We're probably punching far further ahead than the size of the company we are. But we're definitely laying a foundation for something much bigger, much greater for the future. And it is definitely because of our military experience that's allowed us to do that.
All right, and just one last question.
Mhm.
What is your one recommendation for businesses working in the defense industry?
So I would say there's a few things that are different in the defense industry to elsewhere. One of them, things tend to take a little bit longer than the wider industry, largely because there's difference in compliance and funding authorization. But things do take that much longer, so anticipate that for those that are going into defense. What else would I say? I think it feels to me, at least, it's noble. A lot of the work we do is helping build the infrastructure that makes the lives better for those that serve, and as a result, you feel invested, both physically and emotionally. You work harder because you want to give back to those that serve. That's very much what it feels like working in defense most part.
That was my last question. So if there's anything else that you're wanting to say, then we can wrap things up.
So since moving out to Suzaku, I've had a fantastic experience. Amrit's a great guy. The team are great. The projects that we have coming up in the future and the projects that we've already had have really solidified our systems, the way we operate.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
really, really happy with things.
All right, in that case, that was everything I wanted to cover.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Catch you in a bit.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Yes, bye-bye.